Hi, folks. I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Council Candidates 2021. On November 2nd, Old Bridge residents will go to the polls to elect 6 candidates to the 6 ward seats on the Township Council. We're going to bring you interviews with all of these candidates here on OBTV. To begin today, I'm welcoming in the candidates from Ward 1. Beginning on my far left is our challenger, Republican, Kevin Garcia, and the Democratic incumbent, David Merwin. Gentlemen, welcome, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Gene.
Thank you for having us.
Kevin, if I may begin with you as the newcomer. People may not know too much about you. Would you just give us a brief highlight, a little resume of yourself, a little
Sure.
personal, professional?
Well, first of all, Gene, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to meet you and the Old Bridge viewers. My name's Kevin Garcia. I currently live in Cheese Creek Village. I'm the president of the village as well. I moved to Old Bridge 3.5 years ago to be closer to my grandkids.
Okay.
Married to my wife, Patricia, 37 years. I have 2 sons and 4 grandchildren. I'm a retired officer from Jersey City.
Okay.
With distinguished 25-year career serving the public.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're quite welcome, Gene. Thank you.
And what are you doing now that you're a retired man?
I am the Cheese Creek president, Cheese Creek Village president, and that's keeping me quite busy. I've been president since January 1st of this year. 713 units, over 1,000 residents there. So I've been quite busy with them, and we're doing great things over there. Me and my wife, she runs the activities, and I have a great board, so we're quite busy.
Okay, well, good. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Dave, some people may know you. You've been on the council for 1 term, and they know you around the town, but a brief highlight, if you would.
Hi, Gene. Thanks for having me, and my condolences on the passing of your mother-in-law.
Thank you.
I've
Something
been
about
very-
you some people may not know what you're involved with.
I have 6 toes. No.
You too?
I've been very involved in the town for the past 49 years.
Right.
I've been on the Lawrence Harbor First Aid Squad and serving the public. Matter of fact, my very first aid call was in Cheese Creek Village.
Okay.
And
you're still doing that?
and I'm still doing that multiple nights a week.
Okay.
I'm on the CAG at the beachfront,
Right. Okay.
Since its inception 11 years ago. We're in it for the cleanup of the beach, and sometimes we have to get
So you're
little
staying
push,
busy,
you know,
is what you're
so-
trying to say.
I don't know how I did anything when I worked, because I don't have enough time in retirement.
That I can understand. Having retired myself a few years ago, I can understand that. Kevin, if I come back to you, why did you choose to run for the council, and why at this time?
Well, it's funny. I came from Woodbridge. I was in Woodbridge 25 years, and I ran in Woodbridge for political office. I ran as independent and as a Republican. And I'm one of them people who likes to help people. I have to get involved. And now I finally have an opportunity to get involved. I'm in Old Bridge. I love Old Bridge. The mayor's greeted me with open arms, the GOP, and I feel I like to help people. It's pretty much my story. It's, I guess being a cop, it all stems from that.
Okay.
And you have to get involved. If you want to get things done, sometimes you have to get involved. That's just
Absolutely,
how I
I
feel.
agree with that.
Yeah.
What strength do you think you bring to the council?
I think as a former police officer, I know how to talk to people. I know how to communicate with people. 'Cause it's a big job dealing with the public, as you're well aware.
Yes, sir.
People have issues, and I know I can talk to people. I'm understanding. And I really, I'm personal with them. I understand them. I know they have issues. They have issues of my issues. So it's one of those things. I have compassion for the residents, and I know how to talk to them.
Okay.
That's one of my strengths.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Dave, you've been on the council now for 1 term. What have you learned? What experiences have you learned that you'd put in your head?
Well,
What was the
there's
biggest
a lot of
lesson?
things that the council does
Yeah,
that
I know. That's what I'm getting
the
at.
public probably isn't even aware of, but we're responsible for making laws that govern the town.
Yeah. Right.
We're responsible for passing or opposing the administration's budget.
Yes, sir.
So we kind of make the laws, we kind of set the spending limits, and I think we've done a good job. The municipal tax rate has been even for multiple years now, and I didn't know so many people had my phone number.
Until you got on the council.
Until I got on.
And then I remember the late Reggie Butler used to say that too. he had more telephone calls than he could count.
But I openly give it, so I mean, it's
Yeah.
not that somebody's got to go around
Right.
chasing it down. So.
What's been your biggest win, your biggest satisfaction personally, would you say?
Well, we had the parking issues up in the President and the Bayfront section there, where the out-of-towners were coming up and parking in the
Oh, yeah.
in the residential area, blocking up all their parking and
Yes, sir.
creating noise in the middle of the night. I mean, they're fishermen, so
Yeah.
they fish with the tide. So the tides sometimes are in and out at 2 o'clock, 3
Right.
o'clock in the morning,
Right.
and I just wish we had more enforcement on it.
Right.
But sometimes it's
But it was a
be
big,
careful of what you wish for. So
big Ward 1
yeah,
issue, though.
it's
at the time.
it was an issue right there in Lawrence Harbor. I mean, we've had the basketball courts redone.
Yeah, I saw
and
it
they
here,
come
yeah.
out real nice. And we're always fighting to get that beachfront cleaned up, because I think it's the jewel of Old Bridge Township.
Yeah.
We have hundreds of people coming there from all over the township, coming
Right.
down to the beachfront to do their exercise and for the kids to
Yeah,
play. And
it's a
everything,
great,
so.
it's a great asset. It really is. Thank you, Dave. Kevin, if I can go back to you, what do you think? I'm going to ask you two questions at once. Number one, what's the biggest issue you see facing the township broadly, and what's the biggest issue facing Ward 1?
Well, I think it's a combination of both. As you're well aware, taxes is always an issue. I don't care what ward you're from. I don't care what city you're from. Taxes is always our biggest issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Mayor Henry and his administration have done a great job in keeping the municipal tax down. It's our school taxes.
Mm-hmm.
School taxes kill us. It's 60% of our budget.
Mm.
And there's got to be a way we can reduce our taxes. I know the administration works on variables, and I get all that. But we have seniors in my village, a lot of seniors, and they complain about taxes. They get a fixed income. They
Yes,
can't
sir.
afford the taxes.
Right.
I wish there was a way we can get rid of these school taxes for them. I say 65 and older. Maybe I know you're not going to reduce, eliminate it totally, but maybe we can reduce it, because their biggest complaint is, I don't have kids in school. Why am I paying taxes? And I don't see how we can't help the seniors. I'd love to help these seniors and have them pay no taxes.
Right.
So as far as biggest issue, it's taxes. It's always going to be taxes.
You think it's the biggest issue facing the township and facing your
Yeah,
ward?
I believe it is. Everything comes down to money. And like Dave said, Ward 1, that Lawrence Harbor is beautiful.
Oh, it sure
It's
is.
got
yeah.
so much promise,
Yeah.
and we're letting it go. It should be so much better, I think. But yeah, I think taxes is the biggest concerns I have, and the people I've spoken to in Ward 1 in the past 3 months of walking, it always comes down to money.
Well, I was just going to ask you that, walking around as a candidate, that's the biggest issue they face.
I mean, I have little small issues as far as maybe
Yeah.
speeders, stuff like that,
Yeah.
especially in my village. But no, taxes, it's taxes, school taxes, mostly school taxes, of course.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, we've seen that.
It
You know, the
really is,
mayor
you know,
controls about 20% of the total budget.
20% municipal taxes.
Right.
I think the mayor and his administration are doing a great job, but 20% with what they do with that is amazing to me, between the roads and recreation and all that stuff.
Dave, what do you think? Biggest issue with the township? Step away from Ward 1 for a minute and just take broadly a look at the township. What would you say?
Well, definitely taxes are a problem.
Yes, sir.
But they are things that the Old Bridge Council can't control.
Right.
This is the tax system that the state of New Jersey implements.
Right.
I'm sure that if we were able to change and do what we wanted to do, we'd be minimizing the tax impact on the residents. But it's just not within our purview, and and that's tough. I listen. There's a lot of issues in Old Bridge, and it's going to start affecting Ward 1 too, because you have the overdevelopment of.
That's been a bit of a topic here with some of your prior guests here. Overdevelopment. Tell us about that. What do you think? Hitting
Well,
the township?
I think we hopefully are headed in the right direction, but like I said before, you got to be careful of what we wish for. They're planning on putting 5 commercial warehouses in. Well, with 5 commercial warehouses comes a whole lot of traffic, and our roads just are not up to snuff to handle that truck traffic.
Really, you mean for these? Yeah.
And that is, to me, a major issue. And I don't want to see Route 9 looking like Route 27 in Edison.
Right. I agree with
You
that.
know, where they just popped Amazon and everybody else in there,
Yeah.
and it just comes to a standstill.
How do you handle that, Dave? There's always been this, and you know as well as I do, there's always been this issue about industry here in the township, ratables.
Right.
They're good ratables, right?
Very good.
They don't affect the infrastructure. You don't need schools. You don't need.
They don't impact the schools. They don't impact basically, police, fire, and EMS.
Right.
But
Right, but they still.
they will impact police, fire, and EMS when all
With
this
the
traffic is
traffic,
out
okay.
there. And,
Okay.
So it's a double-edged sword,
Yes, sir.
So but with proper planning, I think we can pull it off.
Well, what are your folks saying over in Ward 1 when you walk around? What are they telling you?
They're going, Dave, how's the kids? I had a little bit, more. I know them a lot more.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, I've been doing the first aid for 49 years, so I've been very involved, and they know, they
Yeah.
know me, and they, like Kevin said, they speeders and
The speeders, I'm hearing
yeah,
about speeding
it's
and traffic problems.
the building, the department. They always have.
Well, it's always an
it's
issue.
always a personal issue,
Yes.
not a grand issue.
Not a big one.
Not a big one.
Yeah.
And so you try to take care of them. You do. Hamachu Shah, the businessman, says, "Oh, that pain in the butt is calling again."
Yeah.
And it seems I have to call more now because it's
Yeah.
election time. So,
Yes, sir.
But
If something bugs you, it tends to be something that becomes all encompassing with people. I know myself, when I'm bothered about something, it focuses me constantly to do something about certain things. Okay, gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to hold your thoughts for a minute. We're getting ready to take a break. Folks, we're talking with our Ward 1 candidates, our challenger, Kevin Garcia, and our incumbent, David Merwin. We'll be back in a moment.
Voting? Here are your options. You can now vote early in person October 23rd through October 31st, or send in a vote by mail ballot postmarked by November 2nd, or vote on Election Day at your assigned voting location. Middlesex County, NJ.gov/vote.
The COVID-19 vaccines can be our chance to get back to our plans, who we are, what we miss, to get back to each other, to life. But it's okay to have questions, like, how were the vaccines tested? In rigorous clinical trials among adults of diverse backgrounds. Can the vaccines give you COVID-19? You cannot get COVID-19 from a vaccine. Why should I get vaccinated? Protecting yourself also helps protect the people around you. Find the latest information at getvaccineanswers.org.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
that's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Hi, I'm Gene McLaughlin. Welcome back to our council candidates for 2021. Our candidates today are from Ward 1, Dave Merwin, the incumbent, the Democrat, and our visitor, our challenger, Kevin Garcia, Republican, also running for Ward 1. Folks, if I can come back to one thing, and Dave, you may be able to address this. There's a lot of times that discussion in the council has gotten out of hand. People say that every issue in the township tends to become politicized. A lot of fragmentation of viewpoints. Are there any issues in this township that should be or are bipartisan? What do you think, Dave? You're on the council right now. Can I ask you that?
Yeah, all.
They're all
They all should be bipartisan.
right. They all should be.
They all should be. Anything affecting us. Now we can all differ. All right, we can all differ on our philosophies and our
Yes, sir.
approach to things, but I mean, this gets ridiculous. Everything becomes the national political scene at a local council meeting, and that is totally ridiculous.
Well, that's it. Kevin, I'm sure you've been watching the council meetings. What do you think? Why do the issues seem to be always fragmented and get into, less than friendly debate?
Gene, I don't know. I'm to the point. I'm sick and tired of the Republicans and Democrats fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Everything should be bipartisan. This is about our people, our friends, our neighbors. Why are we fighting? We're working for them. Why are we fighting amongst ourselves to get to the same conclusion? Why don't we just help them and be done with the nonsense? Everything should be bipartisan. A resident comes to you, has an issue. They don't care if I'm Republican. They don't care if I'm Democrat.
Right, exactly. Good point.
They want their problem solved. And who are we to treat them differently? What am I going to say? I'm not going to help you because you're a Republican? It doesn't work. I'm to the point I'm sick and tired of the nonsense. We should take care of our residents. They deserve better from us. Bipartisan all the way.
But how do you smooth this out, Dave? As a member of the council now, or what would you do? How do you get a more collegial view on the council? And years ago, Dave can tell you, the council was much more collegial than it is now. What would you do, Dave? What do you think is the issue, the main issue?
I don't know. I just think we got to take it one day at a time. It's gotten somewhat better. I'm not going to say it's a whole lot. Again, let's concentrate on Old Bridge.
Right.
All right. I'm going to concentrate on Ward 1, but
Yes, sir.
I'm also here for Old
Yeah,
Bridge.
sure.
All right. I don't care who's president. I don't care, who's governor.
Right.
I care about what's happening in Old Bridge.
Right.
I'm not allowed to say that the mayor's doing a good job,
Yeah.
but the mayor's doing a good job.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I think I would have done a good job as mayor, as long as we, and that's what the mayor does. He concentrates on Old Bridge, and that's what I think we have to start doing from here on out, and stop with this silly national politics.
Well, that's it. It seems to waffle down from the top down. This separation and this antagonism, this hostility to Washington, Trenton.
That's exactly what it is. We have to unite.
Yeah.
We are one country. We are one town.
Yeah.
We have to come together. We have same issues everybody else has. Even though it's Old Bridge, it's all the same issues throughout the country.
Yeah.
Why are we fighting amongst ourselves?
Dave, you mentioned one of the issues before, overdevelopment. You think it is a problem? I mean, it's been an on and off problem for years.
Well,
What do you think? Is it coming back in the forefront again?
Do I think yes? Because the things are starting to get built now.
Yeah.
They were able to put it off, saying, "Oh,
We always said,
that's
I know,
that's a
right.
bunch of baloney. That's not going to happen." Well, we got 1,100 units going up at 9 in Schulmeister. We got they put the sign up for their commercial buildings in Ward 1 on the greens at Old Bridge. They don't tell you that there's 512 other housing units coming. So do I think there's problems? Yes, there's definitely problems. I think we have to address it, and and go from there. It's one project at a time. We have to, we have to be smart. We got to think
Forward.
20, 30 years from
Yes,
now.
yeah.
All
right.
Not tomorrow. Yeah, there may not be a traffic problem tomorrow.
Right.
What's this town going to look like after we bring in all these ratables and all these apartments, and
Okay.
that's the one thing that I don't agree with the administration. I just think they haven't been an apartment complex that they couldn't wrap their arms around. I
Okay.
mean,
Kevin, what would you say about that? I know you're looking to run for the council, beyond the council. What do you think about the overdevelopment situation? It's a big issue, a little issue. How do you feel about it?
Well, it's a big issue, and I believe overdevelopment is not good. I have no problem with vegetables coming in. Dave had mentioned earlier about warehouses. That doesn't bother me one bit. As long as they're in the right spot, they're in a commercial section, that's fine. It's not impacting our schools or taxes or anything that way. But as far as apartments are concerned, I don't think we need any more apartments in this town.
Yeah.
We don't need. We have enough apartments. I think we have over 6,000 apartments already, from what I understood. That's plenty for a town this size. So overdevelopment, good, part of it. But as far as apartments are concerned, I don't think we need any more apartments.
Dave, didn't we get in a situation with the COA, though, about low-priced housing or low-income housing? Or
Yeah, we have a COA order. You know, how we're gonna, you know,
Yes, sir.
we've met that. I mean, if the developers don't build, we don't meet the COA thing. So I don't know how we would get blamed, but
Okay.
we you know, there's
I know
certain
it seems
things-
to periodically
Yeah, there's
rise
certain
and
things
fall.
we have to do, but you know, again, I believe in if we're going to do low cost housing for, you know, affordable housing, they should be owned units, not rentals.
Okay.
You know, I
Interesting
think
point.
the people that are
Interesting
in
point.
that predicament need to be able to have that pride that they're a homeowner and
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
go from there.
Good point. Kevin, one question, if I may, before we get to the end of the show. Is there any one issue that you would champion if you get on the council?
You know, all of Ward 1's important to me. I can say the waterfront. I love the waterfront. I can Cliffwood Beach waterfront. Geez, you know, whatever my residents have an issue with, I have an issue with. So as far as championing a certain project, I don't really know of any.
Okay.
Their issues are my issues. I guess we can get to that once we get to that.
Right.
But as far as championing one issue, no, I can't say. At this point, no, I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you. You mentioned the governor before. Do you think the governor race at the top of the ticket is going to impact your campaign in any way? Turnout, voting down the column? What do you think?
I think sure it is. I think governor coming out is going to increase more people coming out to
Right.
vote that day for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
That can only help us, I would think, because they're coming out for that reason. So sure, but as far as impacting me personally, I have to work for my constituents.
Okay.
And doesn't really matter to me who the governor is. I still have a job to do regardless of whether it's Chiavarelli or whether it's Murphy. My number one focus is Ward 1 residents. So yeah, it'll have an effect by getting more people out.
More people out,
But other
okay.
than that, no.
Dave, what do you think?
Well, here's what I tell my people:
Yeah.
go to A7
Okay.
and go wherever you want.
Okay. So you don't think the governor race is
I-
the top?
No, I think the most important person that they could elect on Tuesday, November 2nd, is their Ward 1 council person.
okay.
That's the one that has the most effect on them.
Well, it'll come up.
And this is a great campaign in that you know, we have vote by mail, which a lot of
Yeah.
people are still against.
Yeah.
But this is the first time in history we have early voting.
Yes, sir.
Starting Saturday the 23rd to October 31st.
Right.
Throughout the county, it doesn't matter where you are, you can go, show them your driver's license, and it's boom, automatic. Your information's there, you can vote.
What about the
and
people
I
that
would,
just?
you know, recommend the use of that because the schools are closed that week
Right.
of election week.
Okay, good point. What about the idea that some people vote just column vote? You know, start at the top of the column and go right down. What do you do with that? I mean, the Republicans just take the Republican ticket from the top and go right to the bottom, depending on who they can. Same with the Dems.
There's nothing you can do about that. I mean,
that can
there's
impact
people
it.
that vote that way. You know,
Yeah.
that's why I ask them to start at A7
A7,
because I don't care if they're voting for Jack Citarelli
Yeah.
or Murphy. You know, I don't care if they're voting for Trump or Biden.
okay. Good.
Right here is the most important.
Okay, good point. Gentlemen, we're getting close to the end of the show. What I'd like to ask you to do is just take a moment, tell people, and Kevin, if I may start with you, why should people vote for you? Why should they send you to the council?
Well, as a newcomer, nobody knows Kevin Garcia. But I think, you know, by being a representative for Ward 1, I will be a representative for the whole ward. Their issues are my issues. So give me an opportunity to show you what I can do. And like I said, your issues are my issues, and I will be a representative for the whole of Ward 1. You know, and I'd be humbled and honored to be the representative for Ward number 1. And at this point, I want to thank the mayor and his team for allowing me to run under their platform, because I think the mayor and his team are doing great things in town between the roads and recreation, taxes. I think they're doing a great job. And I'm happy to be part of a winning team. I want to be part of a winning team.
Okay, and where are people going to find you on the ballot?
So like Dave said earlier, B7.
B7.
Start from the bottom, work your way up.
Go the other way, huh?
Go the opposite way. What
Okay.
Dave said, we're most important to you, and we live here. We are your representative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the other guys, county, governor, yeah, they may be able to help a little bit, but we're your main focus. We will certainly take care. I know I will certainly take care of my Ward 1 residents.
Okay, Dave, why should people send you back to the council for another term?
I think my 4 years of working hard for the residents of Ward 1 prove itself out, whether they be from Clipper Beach, Lawrence Harbor, Cheesequake Village, Cheesequake Estates, Cheesequake Woods, Genoa, Leonia Park, the little triangle on Spring Hill, Farrington Farms, you know.
Okay.
They're all little sections of Ward 1.
Right.
All right, and I have gotten calls from every one of those sections and have taken care of every one of them. So they know what they get from me. I've been, like I said, volunteering as an EMS worker for 49 years.
Right.
I'm not going away.
Right.
You know, they know what they got with Dave Merwin.
Okay, and where are people going to find you?
A7.
A7 on the ballot.
On the ballot, and start in the at A7 and go where you wish. And you know, we're getting the.
Go from there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Dave, good. We'll ask you one last question, and I touched on it briefly off the air, and that is, if you had a wish list right now, what would you wish for? What would you do with a wish list?
As far as Ward 1 is concerned,
Forget money, forget taxes. If you had one thing to do, what would you do?
well, take care of my seniors, especially in, like I said, I know a lot of them in Cheesequake Village. They talk to me, we converse about certain things, taxes, and basically just take care of my seniors. They deserve more. They deserve a lot from us. Taxes, I keep harping on taxes. Taxes is their concern, and their concern is my concern. So I love to take care of my seniors. Not just Cheesequake, all of Ward 1.
Right.
Because we have quite a few seniors in the ward, throughout the whole Old Bridge Township. But take care of our seniors.
So if you had the one wish, that's what you do.
I would
You
take
just
care of our-
focus more in many different ways than that.
Yes,
Okay.
take care of our seniors.
Okay, Dave, what about you? If you had that wish list, you know, the one thing you could do, what would you do?
I would love to see our beachfront repaired in my lifetime.
A great one.
The unfortunate part is, the fortunate and unfortunate part is that it was made a Superfund site. Now, the unfortunate part of that is that damn law was made for lawyers and engineers to make money. It wasn't to get our beachfront clean. But the CAG continues to put pressure on the EPA and Frank Pallone, and we're moving things along. The National Lead just jerked us around for 2 years, and we lost all that good time we had picked up through the efforts of Frank Pallone, and it's unfortunate. And I would love to see our recreation continue to be expanded. I would love to see an aquatic park centrally located in the town, and a pool.
So
and
there's a lot of
spray
wish
parks
lists out
and-
there,
yeah.
huh?
Oh, there's a lot of wish lists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming in today. Appreciate you being here. I want to wish you the very best on the trail, campaign trail, and I'm sure we'll be seeing and hearing more of you along the way. And folks, we've been talking with the Ward 1 candidates. As you've heard, Kevin Garcia from Ward 1, Republican candidate, and our incumbent, David Merwin, the Democrat, also long time, one term on the council. We'll be bringing you interviews with all of these candidates on Old Bridge Television. Please continue to stay and watch the rest of the candidates. There'll be a schedule posted so you can tune in. I'd like to thank you for watching. This is Gene McLaughlin. Take care.